Would you say to young fellas now, Tomás? Fair to say, Paddy got stung a couple of times with a couple of interviews he did back in the day. The effing animals one would definitely be one anyway. But I think there's a duty on players and managers to, number one, promote the games. And I just don't think players are visible enough now. What do you think yourself?
If you're looking at it, it depends what side of the fence you're on. If you're a supporter, you want to hear players. If you're in the media, you want to interview players. But if you're a manager, you want to win games, and it's not your concern what goes over the fence. So I totally understand the big teams that would shut down you with an All-Ireland final. And I suppose, you're talking about the promotion of the game, and I get that, but I do understand. Like, I personally, maybe it's not like that anymore. I'd personally, on the train up, we'd have all the papers there, you'd pick them up, you wouldn't touch anything belonging to Kerry, whatever it was. There'd be a couple of interviews, obviously, because the two or three would have to do it. But I'd pick up the paper and I'd look at the Dublin interviews, or I'd look at the Meath interviews, and I'd go through everything, and I'd find something that was disrespectful. And even if it wasn't, I'd find something. And I'd say it maybe in a team meeting or something, anything to get an edge. I do personally, from a footballing point of view and from a team point of view, see no benefit of putting a fella, because I've done interviews, and I've done interviews with, you go into an interview and you say, I'm not going to answer any of the hard stuff, and it's very hard. Some of the lads, like, you have certain journalists, and they're fucking good. They actually...
Not like these lads.
Waterboarding. Yeah, so I get it from both sides, but then I do enjoy, you see something with Kimmage and with one of the golfers, and you say, Christ, that's unreal. Or one of Roy Keane. I love that. But it's different, like, those lads are professional. They don't, like, those other lads are going into work on a Monday morning, and you might give an interview or whatever, and I think it's just a little bit different. I get both sides, but I fully understand why teams would hold fellas back. The hurlers, was there no hurler available before the All-Ireland?
There was nothing before the All-Ireland semi-finals. There were press nights before the two finals, in fairness now, yeah.
I think it has to, like, it is, like, I'm always, like, my whole work has been with youth and teaching and development of youth, and, like, you'd like to think if there's a young, like, my little 7-year-old is obsessed with Mbappe, and if he wants to find out anything about Mbappe, he can find out what he eats for breakfast, he can find out a million things about Mbappe. But if he wants to find out anything about Conor Callahan, like, good luck to you. Like, I wouldn't be able to find out. Like, so like that is a thing. Like, and it is important to encourage the next generation. And it is like, I actually completely feel Tomás's thing on it, because I'm torn on it as well. I was all about a closed shop. Like Jim loved putting me out in front of the media, because the last thing I'm going to talk about is Gaelic football. Like, I was shouting on about Tupac and all sorts of nonsense. But like, the last thing I was talking about was football. Like, so like that's why he didn't mind. But like, and I get that, like, but I think it actually will get to a stage, like, 'cause it's going to go to a stage where and people might laugh at it now, but like, in terms of like that kind of nearly Drive to Survive kind of the Formula One stuff, where you really get an insight into players, like, and look, it's not going to happen next season, but I think it will. I think money's going to talk eventually. And I think people are actually going to get a proper insight into these players, into these dressing rooms. Like you see it now, and I know we probably look at it from a Gaelic football point of view, but when a basketball manager goes in at half time, he's not allowed to go into his players. He has to go in and do an interview at half time, and in front of the audience, and like these, and it's coming in rugby as well. I think rugby are a step ahead of us and all that sort of stuff. So I think, look, I think it will go there, and I think it really is important to give a lifeline to the next generation who want it. Like I was obsessed with Michael Jordan as a kid. That was all I cared about. That was on all my walls, and I could Google him. I couldn't Google him. I grew up in the Middle Ages, but I could find out so much about him. Like, and I think it is just a little harder for the kids to do that these days. So I think that's really important.